One of the things we've discovered recently is that AI is much more capable than we ever thought it would be. And to the point that Jeff Hinton, who was the kind of godfather, as it were, certainly of deep learning, if not necessarily AI itself, is effectively saying that they are more intelligent than us. They don't have the same intelligence, but they are more intelligent than us. They're not, and he thinks they have the capacity to think. I'm not sure I would say think, but certainly they can understand things. And he pointed out if they could explain a joke, it should meant that they could understand a joke. And that was the point where he became alarmed about what these things can do. So for sure, ChatGPT knows more than any one person, and these things are just developing exponentially. So we are soon going to be left behind by AI, absolutely left behind by AI. That's why I'm saying in my own work that we need to have a second Copernican revolution. The first one, Nicholas Copernicus saying that the universe doesn't revolve around the Earth. Well, I don't think that intelligent life forms revolve around human beings. Indeed, it's very clear that these entities are going to be off the map and understanding things that are just beyond our range. If you think about, let's say, how a dog has got a much greater range of hearing and of smell than us, that's what I'm talking about. These things are capable of operating in a way we don't even know what they're doing. It's almost like this comment: the dumb don't know how dumb they are. We are going to be the dumb ones, and AI is going to be far outstretching us. I mean, it's going to be astonishing. At the moment, though, in terms of architecture, what's happening is that people are focusing on these diffusion models like Midjourney and DALL-E that can produce some remarkable images. I mean, in the last few weeks, 2 or 3 weeks, they've upgraded the systems and they are just stunning what they can produce, but they're just images. And they don't make sense necessarily in terms of structure or function and so on, they're just images. In the meantime, in the background, there is some research going on producing software that will be available in 2 to 3 years' time that will completely revolutionize the whole design practice, And in fact, one of our Doctor of Design students, Wan Yu He, is responsible for one of those initiatives where they can't disclose everything, of course, because you're competing with your rivals. So, but I know what they're working towards, and that's going to radically change everything. And that is going to introduce checks. It's going to introduce checks. So at the moment, if you think through the logic of spell check helps you get your spelling right. Well, that's what's going to happen with AI. It's going to get absolutely everything right. It is going to be better than us. There's no question it's going to be better than us. And it's going to actually highlight problems such as leaking roofs, before they're built. It'll spot those things, and it's going to completely revolutionize these things. So frankly, we are the ones who are going to be making the mistakes. There's an interesting speculation by a computer scientist called Toby Walsh, who predicts that human beings are going to be banned from driving in the future. And the logic of what he's saying is this: that self-driving cars are going to come along, and they're going to be very convenient, and we're going to use them more and more, especially if we go out for a drink or something. We'll, have a self-driving Uber or something like that, to the point that eventually we'll start losing our driving skills. Now, of course, the moment self-driving cars are not as reliable as humans, but soon they'll be much more reliable, and soon insurance premiums are going to go up in terms of if you're a human driver not using a self-driving car, you will be paying more in insurance premiums because they're less reliable. And eventually, according to Toby Walsh, at some point we'll think, well, what the hell? This is much more convenient. It's too expensive for me to drive. I'm just going to not drive. In fact, he says we will be banned from driving. And he says, and we won't even notice or care. Now, that's an interesting model in a sense for architects, because once you've got a self-driving car, you don't need a driver. And once you've got an AI that can generate designs for buildings that are more reliable than humans, then you don't need an architect. So there is a dark side to all that. But I think that we can. It's going to show us up for the mistakes that we're making, and it's not going to let those things go through. I'm convinced that's the way it's going to go.